The Battlefield 6 Battle Royale with Redsec has been an absolute joy to play. I've had nothing but fun playing it the entire time. But if you're still looking for your first win on this Battle Royale, I have a couple of tips that have helped me to win a few games, and will hopefully to help you win a few games as well. My name is Manifold. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day today and enjoying Redsec. Let's jump right into our tips on how you can potentially win your first game of Redsec if you have not done so already, or win more games. So, my first recommendation, and this might be a little controversial to say the least, but this is something that I've noticed especially more in more games now, especially with the game being, out for a few more days, players getting used to the gameplay loop and everything, is do not tunnel your focus on getting a tank, especially in the late game. Now, that might sound ridiculous, and you may not agree with me at first, but hopefully I can help you. Hopefully I can help change your mind. So, a quick question: when you see a tank, period, and you have your full squad with you, what is your first thought that you are going to do? In my opinion, I'm gonna either run away, or I primarily pick engineer class, so I'm going to tunnel it and try to destroy it. If you bring a tank into the late game, especially when there's less than 15, 14 squads left, you are going to get tunneled so hard that your tank is going to get immediately destroyed. And I've learned this from first-hand experience as well. I, of course, at the very beginning of when Redsec came out, I thought that, you get a tank, you win the game. That, thankfully, is not the case. Players have learned to adapt extremely quickly when it comes to taking out tanks. And in all the games that I've won, I've never won with a tank, and the funny part is I've never even seen a tank in the late game in the games that I have won. So my first tip is use a tank only in the early to mid game, but do not tunnel on getting a tank into the late game, because most of the time it is likely to not succeed, and it's just going to draw attention to you and your squad and get you taken out prematurely before you can win the game. Going into my next tip, this has to do more with completing missions, and do not underestimate the power of a UAV or of an airstrike, especially the airstrike. The airstrike is an extremely powerful kill streak, or, not kill streak, but yeah, to say, utility, I should say. The airstrike is an extremely powerful utility to use in the game currently, and can easily eviscerate an entire team, especially in the late game. And that's not even counting the UAVs. I would say, overall, in my opinion, to prioritize airstrikes over a UAV. The UAV scanning in the game currently is a little slow, when the radar, spins around from the player that activated it. It can be a little slow and may not give you the information that you need in time in order to find out where the enemies are. But if you're holding one portion of the map, especially come later game and there's a lot less squads left, all you have to do is airstrike where you think the enemies are, and most of the time you're going to either do damage to them or at least shake them enough to potentially run out in the open, have another squad gun them down, or gun them down yourself. I would say prioritize airstrikes over any other kill streak. The mortar strike is okay. The UAV is, of course, provides great information, but I would say the airstrikes are the best kill streak in the game right now, and you should prioritize getting as many as you can on each of your squad members in order to help you win your first game. My next tip might sound a little counterintuitive, especially if you've played a lot of the faster BRs, Warzone, Apex Legends, Fortnite, but this is a far more tactical and slower experience, which I really like. I've played, the faster BRs for a long time, and it's so refreshing to have a slower BR, a tactical BR. Not that that makes it any less skillful, but it makes it more enjoyable, in my opinion, to some extent. My next tip is potentially, depending on the game, camp and stick together, no matter what. Now, I know a lot of you hear this, and you're screaming skill issue. I can hear you guys furiously typing on your keyboards right now. Skill issue, grandpa, skill issue, grandpa, skill issue, grandpa. But the way that this game is, if you can hold a position and if you can stick together as a group, you are going to win more games. This is not one of those battle royales where you can run around, full wipe squads by yourself like in the early Warzone days or the Fortnite days. You are not going to be able to do that in this battle royale because A, movement is a lot slower, than in those games, which again, I think is completely fine. You can be spotted a lot easier in these games, with motion sensors, with the recon, with the recon class, ADSing at you and doing damage, you're marked, or with the recon drone. You can be spotted in so many different ways, and if anybody sees you coming, especially if it's a full squad of 4, you're going to get wiped out immediately. And if you are in that squad of 4 and you see one person, you see 2 people, you have the numbers advantage and you are easily going to beat them. Unless, of course, you are playing with your monitor turned off. In any case, stick with your squad, even if it's a squad of randoms. Even if you're playing with randoms and you don't think that they are doing the right thing, stick with them. Do not abandon your squad. And if you can, I would say to camp to ensure that you are going to have a primary position and better standings when it comes to how many teams are remaining. And this leads me into my next point. Try to predict where the circle is going to end and get there as soon as possible. Again, from my last point, you are going to want to hold multiple vantage points in a building however long you can. Because of how this battle royale is, if you can hold a position, see where your enemies are coming from, you are going to win gunfights the majority of the time. You're going to be able to get the slip on opponents. They are not really going to be able to, move you from that position unless they airstrike, unless they have a tank, to some extent, because sometimes the tank shells will not reach if you're at the top of a building. But definitely get to the circle center where you think it's going to be as quickly as possible, because A, you're going to be able to hold out. B, you're going to be able to set up, and potentially have your motion sensors go in. You're going to have your anti-tank mines in place in case a tank does come into the late game. And you're going to have a much better chance winning in the game and not getting caught with your pants down if a team is going to rotate toward you and potentially take you out. You hopefully are going to be able to hold them down, to fight them off, and hopefully, again, win your first game if that is your goal in this battle royale. My last little tidbit, if you guys are doing this, it's not necessarily your fault, but I would say do not pick the assault class. Pick legitimately any other class aside from assault. Assault does not offer anything tactically that is going to benefit your team, in my opinion. Recon offers spotting enemies, motion sensor, the recon drone, multiple ways to spot enemies to see where they're coming from and if they are advancing on you, how many there are, and is going to let you have far more information that is going to help you win the game. Medic lets you drag teammates faster and revive them extremely quickly. They also have the resupply little baggie that gives you more ammo. That is great in situations where you might be running low on ammo and you might not be able to go out and find more ammo, especially if it's later in the game. Engineer, of course, lets you have rockets, lets you guide your rockets, once you get to that next level of the XP thing. You can, repair vehicles, or you can repair a tank if that is, your strategy. Assault is just not worth picking right now because every other class has such a better tactical advantage than Assault. So, I would encourage you, if you are picking Assault every single game, to not pick Assault, pick any other class, get accustomed to how it is going to help you and your teammates to obtain better information, to stay alive longer, and if you use vehicles, to keep the vehicle up a lot longer, and to hopefully win games more often. I am still enjoying this game so much, and I will continue to bring you guys videos to help you guys get your first win if that is what you want. But let me know if there are any videos you guys want to see from me. I am doing so much research with the gun damages and, just trying to figure out consistent ways to win games if that is your, fancy, and trying to figure out like what the best XP methods are as well. But everybody, let me know if you guys have any tips that has helped you win games. I love making videos on this game, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys stay hydrated. Hope you guys stay healthy. Hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day. Take care, everybody.